In chapter 15, June has discovered people aren't talking about her as much anymore. Her book has been out for almost a year, so it's understandable because new books are published every day. June says this: "I'm no longer Twitter's main character, but that's precisely the problem. I'm now trending toward irrelevance." Nice to see that June is an attention whore. I'll be adding that to her quality list at the end of the chapter. Why am I meant to like this bint? June starts wondering how she can budget her money without publishing another book. "I could survive the next 10, even 15 years on my earnings from the last front alone." You seem to be awful at writing, so you might not be able to write another book unless you find another manuscript to steal. Or you could, I don't know, get a job. Ineffable. Too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. But that still retains the ineffable Juniper Song spark. Someone thinks highly of herself. I thought only men had giant egos. Oh, that was a lie.
Lies and lies and more lies.
June reveals that she's been ignoring Brett's advice for a while when she says this. "This is the third time we've had this conversation." What? Why didn't you come up with something the first time he asked? Was that not a large enough clue that you need to have a new story? Wouldn't that also solve your attention whore problem? Write something new and go back into the spotlight you so crave. But no, leftists want all the attention without the effort. The problem is that every time I sit down to write, all I hear is Athena's voice. Here's an idea for a story. Write about someone haunted by the voice of a dead friend. Use the problem that you're having and turn it into something creative. Too white. So now you're being racist to your own face? Why? What is this Marxist desire to inject race into everything? Why do Marxists love racism so much? Artifice. Clever or cunning devices or expedients, especially as used to trick or deceive others. First, let me tell you about the time Athena stole from me. What is this book? I thought it was about two authors, but it's actually about two frauds who steal and plagiarize each other's work. We became friends at the start of our freshman year. This bullshit again? You weren't friends. Both only make me feel worse because they assume a version of a friendship that didn't exist. Kuang, you wrote that multiple times, that June didn't consider Athena her friend, while also writing that June and Athena were friends. Are you suffering from short-term memory loss? The pastor told me he was going to hell as he'd never been baptized. You know you can fix this by baptizing the person, right? Idiots. Calling Tasha's Natasha and Bill's William as if this insistence on formality would elevate everyone in the conversation. June makes fun of Athena for doing this, but then she realizes that what Athena did worked. It did. Why complain then? The answer is Marxists love to take normal good things and complain that they exist, especially when they're true. Lacuna, an unfilled space or interval, a gap. By the end of chapter 15, June is a rude, fraudulent, narcissistic, insecure, jealous, vindictive, socially anxious, gaslighting, cowardly, unintelligent, plagiarist, blackmailer, and attention whore. Let's move on to chapter 16. June has managed to write another book called Mother Witch, and Adele Sparks Sato has written an opinion piece about it. Adele thinks that June also plagiarized Mother Witch. June's publisher sees Adele's piece and contacts her about it, so June says this. "I made the last front. Athena's version was utterly unpublishable." Again, with Athena was a terrible writer while also being engaging at the same time. Or does June get engaged by terrible writing? The inconsistency of Kuang is the only consistent thing about her. Brett tells June some right-wing commenters have gotten wind of the Twitter drama and says this. "It seems like this whole fiasco got picked up by a lot of, right-wing commentators. Probably not people you really want to associate with." There's that be kind message from the left again.
Lies and lies and more lies.
They don't want to associate with right-wing commentators simply because they're right-wing. There they go, practicing their don't judge message so effectively. Oh, wait. It's one thing to talk and then decide you don't like someone, which is perfectly fine. It's the reason I'm reading this book. I obviously dislike everything Kuang writes, but I still plan on finishing the book. My judgment of the book is based on my experience of reading it, not simply because I saw Kuang and didn't like her. However, June is doing this. She sees right wing, she doesn't talk to them, and she judges them as bad simply because of the label she put on them. Passing judgment on content before engaging with it makes you an ass. Brett continues and says this, but they're turning this into a culture war issue, and that always drives attention, so sales are up. And it's always nice when sales are up. Oh, so you mean the right is helping you? Are you going to thank them for the publicity they are giving you of their own accord? Of course you won't. Athena's mom calls June, and June goes to her house. It turns out Adele had contacted Athena's mom for Athena's notebooks. You remember the notebooks. The notebooks that June was stupid enough not to take in chapter 4. In a rare twist of suspense, June has an actual moment of moral clarity.
What?
I've torn that from her. I've denied a mother her daughter's final words. If I tell her the truth now, Mrs. Liu will at least get those words back. I'm just as surprised as you are. June realizes she's hurt Athena's mother, and for a split second she contemplates telling Athena's mother the truth. This book would have had one good moment if this had happened. Instead, we get this. But I can't break. Translation, but I'm an insufferable bint. Don't worry, it gets worse. In the face of it all, I've never once cracked, never admitted the theft to anyone. Translation, in the face of it all, I've been a spectacularly excellent liar and a massive fraud. What a great character. Why am I meant to like this bint again? I'm skilled with words. Apparently not skilled enough to write your own books. June continues to show the depth of her depravity when she says this. I know how to lie without lying. That isn't the compliment you think it is, dear. At the end of chapter 16, June has now doubled down on her original lie. She has acquired no more terrible qualities, but she also has 0 positive ones.